was not. On page 489 is where section 2 starts at. And what section 2 is going to be doing is we're going to be figuring out your new employees' pay based on if you give them a raise. So, for instance, two big things that we deal with when we talk about raises. Merit increase, that means if you're a really good employee, I might give you a percentage based on how well you perform. And the second one that's a big criteria is cost of living. Okay, in our area of the world in North Dakota here, our cost of living in this particular community as compared to some of the other ones around the state, we are a little bit higher, okay, as compared to some of the other ones because of the oil business that was here. Okay, it's coming down, but it's coming down slowly. So on page 489, it says many companies have a salary scale for most positions. This is a table of wages or salaries used to compare various jobs in a company. The information can be used to compare various jobs or to estimate the cost of giving an employee a cost of living adjustment or merit increase. A cost of living adjustment, also known as COLA, is a raise in an employee's salary to help keep up with inflation. Inflation meaning obviously like housing market, rent, food, groceries, all that stuff goes up. A merit increase is a raise in salary to reward an employee for quality work. The formula that we have for today says new salary is going to be equal to the present salary that you're at plus a cost of living adjustment plus the merit increase. Okay? Now, in order to get those, just so that you guys know what we're going to have to do, in order to get those, we're going to probably have to multiply by a percentage. A lot of times when they say cost of living went up 4%, what they'll do is they'll take 4% of a number, and that's part of that, or how to get that answer. Okay? So just so that you guys know, we're going to have to multiply before we add. On page 490, number 1 says, Sam Jordan is a project leader, salary level 1 position for EPD Incorporated. He receives a 2.8% cost of living and a 2% merit increase. Find the new salary. So what you do is, on page 489, there's a table towards the bottom of that page that says EPD Incorporated Employee Salary Schedule. So what we need to look at for salary level 1, because that's what he is, and he's a project leader. So first of all, how much does a salary level 1 project leader start at? $60,000. So that's the present salary. Now, what I need to do is take 2.8 times the 60,000. 2.8%. So when you move that over, and this is a couple of you were asking me this the other day, when you move this over, remember it's 2 spaces. So you're multiplying 60,000 times 0.028. How much money are we talking about? 1,680. Okay. Then we go ahead and take 2% times 60,000. The 2% is then for the merit. Okay, so what happened is wherever this person lives, they're saying that I'm going to give you 2.8% of whatever you make now because of the cost of living is adjusted. Then because you do a decent job, I'm also going to give you 2% more on top of that. Okay? So a lot of times when they make raises or if they have a salary schedule of some sort, it's based on cost of living, and then if there's an extra merit based on how well you do. What's 2% times 60,000? Now to figure out the new salary for this person, what is 60,000 plus 1,680 plus 1,200? 62,880. Okay? So if I am Sam Jordan After 1 year, if I got a 8 or 2.8% cost of living and a 2% merit increase, my second year salary would be $62,880. What do you think? Not too terrible? Number 2, Janine Jacoby is a web designer, salary level 3 position for EPD. So first of all, salary level 3, I go down to row 3, web designer, how much money does she get a year? How much? 41 grand. Then it goes on to say that she's getting a 3.8% cost of living. And then a 5.2% merit increase. She must do pretty well. So what I need to know from you guys is, first of all, what is 3.8% or 0.038 times 41,000? 1,558. Then, what is 5.2% or 0.052 times 41,000? 2,132. Okay, now, quick question for you guys. And I'm not going to try to throw anybody under the bus, but I did hear somebody say 758 for that answer. Now, the reason why I knew something was off on that, if 3.8% was 1,558, should 5.2% be higher than that number? It should be. A higher percentage should mean a higher number. So be careful when you type things in. Sometimes we make a mistake on our decimal point, or we miss a number, like it might have been just a 0 on the 41,000 instead. So be very careful with that. Being 1 decimal off, you guys can be off by quite a bit. So what was the final total? 44,690. So Janine went from making $41,000 a year to $44,690 or $90 a year. So pretty good raise. All right. Do you always get merit increases? No. Do you always get cost of living increases? No. Also depends on budgets. Okay, right now a big thing in our state, and I don't know if you guys know anything about this, but our big thing in our state is that they need to cut the budget for our state, so they're cutting employees. Cutting means they're letting them go, meaning that they wouldn't have a job anymore. Okay, that's a way that they can save money. It's a real thing that's happening. Okay? But what do you think about how we did these? You guys okay with that? Okay. Now, when you look at page 491, just so that you guys know how the chart works. On 5 through 9, part A, they want you to tell me the salary. So if I go back to this problem, this would be part A. Okay, from the chart, that's what part A would be. Just tell me what the salary is. Okay, part B says, what's the COLA? COLA is the abbreviation for cost of living adjustment. Okay, so that would be, this part would be part B. Then part C would be for the merit increase. And then part D in the chart would be what's the total. Okay, so that's as far as, that was number 2, but if I did number 5 right now, it would be the same thing as that. Okay, so it's A, B, C, D. Don't leave off D. Okay, some of you did that the other assignment where I get to just mark wrong because you didn't do it. Be careful with that. Then 10, 11, and 12 are the same type of things, only putting words behind it like we did for the first 2. It's not in a chart format. Okay? Any questions about how we multiply and add? Are you guys good? Okay. So on page 490 to 491, 5 through 12.